previous class, we have seen charges that are separated by a distance. So this is Q1 and this is Q2. So these two charges are separated by some finite distance, which we call it as D. We are representing it as D. Okay, but in general, it is not possible to have charges in this manner. You know, if you observe the atomic structure of any atom, the positively charged particles are present at the center. We call it as nucleus. Connection line lo undadamna. Hello. So you know that all the positive charges are present at the nucleus. So atom is the tiniest particle in the matter. So it is not possible to have charge distributions in distinct manner. Okay, this is what we call it as distinct charge configuration. That means the charges are separated by a particular distance between them. So this kind of configuration is not at all possible. This configuration is not at all possible. So this kind of configuration we can call it as charge configurations. Distinct charge configurations. Okay, so this distinct configuration is not at all possible in real time. It is not at all possible in real time. So then what should we do if such kind of charge configurations are not possible? So if it is not distinct, then this charge configuration must be a continuous one. The charge configuration is continuous one. So we call it as continuous charge configurations. So this charge configuration maybe is of three different types. It may be a kind of volume-like thing, or it may be a sheet-like thing, or it may be a kind of line one. Line kind of charge configuration. So how can I understand this charge? Before going into the understanding the concept of charge configuration, let us take this, we see with the help of an example. Take water. Suppose if this water is poured in a glass, what is the shape of water? What is the shape that was taken by this water? Water takes the shape of a bottle. Suppose if it is a cylinder or a tube that was closed at one end, Then water is poured into the tube. Then what is the shape that was taken by this is a tubular kind. Suppose if you take a ball, if it is a ball, then if you pour water into this ball, the shape taken by this water is ball in nature, isn't it? But all these three configurations, what you are having, we are having only water. So this water will have certain density. So the density of water under normal temperature and pressure is equal to 1 kg per meter cube. Isn't it? So this is what we call it as density. So like this, we define charge density. Like this, we define charge density. So this charge density will tell about how much charge that was present in that particular shape or configuration. In a particular shape or configuration. So this charge density is represented with a letter rho. So that if the shape may be a volume, it may be a surface, or it may be a line. Then here we define charge density for all these three types of configurations. So if it is a volume, the charge density is called as volume charge density. As I told you earlier, just now I told you, rho is the symbol. This is called rho. RHO, rho is the symbol used to represent charge density, and this is called the suffix. This is called suffix. So rho suffix V, V is the first letter in volume. So, okay, the definition of volume is VOLUME. The definition of volume is VOLUME. So rho suffix V represents volume charge density. Volume charge density. Similarly, we use the word or notation rho suffix S. So S is the first letter in surface, so that we call it as surface charge density. The third one is rho suffix L. Rho suffix L. L is the first letter in line, so we call it as line charge density. So here, how to understand the concept of this charge density? You take a volume, a sphere. I have taken a sphere. A sphere is a circular object which is having radius of r in all the three directions. In the direction of x-axis, along the length, along the breadth, and along the depth. So this is a sphere. Suppose that it is containing a charge q coulombs over it, so that the charge is uniformly distributed throughout the volume of the sphere. Throughout the volume of the sphere. So here I considered a small elemental volume which I call it as dV. Then the relation between volume and charge that was present over this sphere is, we know that the volume of the sphere is nothing but integral dV will give me the volume of the sphere. So that over a volume, Q amount of charge that was present. So here we define volume charge density is the ratio of this Q to V. This Q to V as limit delta V tends to 0, where delta V is the small incremental volume. Small incremental volume. So this is how we define the volume charge density. So the volume charge density over the sphere is rho v. So this rho v is defined as this limit as delta v tends to 0. As delta v tending to 0, we call it as dv q by v, where v is the volume of the sphere. Volume of the sphere. So sphere is a three-dimensional object. So it will be having a length, height, and depth. In general, we deal with only two dimensions in the space, either with length or height. But if you take a ball, you cut that into the center. Okay, so what you will find some depth. That depth is equal to its radius. So that is why we call it as a three-dimensional object, and this kind of configuration is called as volumetric charge configuration. The second kind of configuration is a sheet. You take a mat, chapa తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, so that its thickness is negligibly small. So thickness is negligibly small. In general, we do not have an object with zero thickness, but the thickness, when compared with the length and height or breadth, the thickness can be neglected. Okay, example is a paper. You take one paper of a notebook, right? So what is the thickness of that paper? which can be neglected. The thickness can be neglected. So such kind of configurations of charge are known as surface charges. Surface charges. So you suppose that it contains some Q charge, some amount of charge, let it be Q over its surface, then delta S is an incremental area, so that the surface charge density rho s is equal to limit as delta S tends to 0 Q by S is defined as the surface charge density. And the third configuration is line charge. Line charge. You know that you can see overhead like transmission line conductors that are passing nearby your house. Okay, మీ ఇంటి బయటకు వచ్చి కరెంట్ స్తంభాలను చూస్తారు అనుకోండి, what you will see on the poles of these electric poles, you can see that the conductors are hanged between two adjacent poles. So this conductor is treated as a line charge, so that if its radius is neglected in comparison with length, then the charge present over it is Q, then we define the line charge. The line charge density as defined as limit as delta L tends to 0 Q by L. Q by L. As we know that, as this delta L is very small, delta L or delta S or delta B are very small, then limit delta V into 0 as tends to 0 can be replaced with an integral over the volume with dV, so that the amount of charge present on a volume, here we won't use the word on, over a volume, is Q is equal to integral over the volume rho V dV. Similarly, the amount of charge that was present over a surface, then let it be Q is equal to integral over the surface rho S ds. Similarly, the amount of charge present on over a line conductor over a line conductor, then Q is equal to integral over the length L rho L dl. Rho L dl. So that this Q is equal to whether it is a volume configuration rho V dV, that is equal to, if it is a surface configuration, rho S ds, if it is a line configuration, is equal to rho L dl. So this is what the total charge expression for the charge over different configurations. So that now we can write the definitions of, or we can redefine the expressions for electric field intensity for different charge configurations. So electric field intensity due to field intensity due to a volume charge. So here so let it be a volume charge, right? For the time being, you consider this as a volume charge. This volume charge is having a charge density of rho over it, so that I want to find out the electric field intensity at this point. Say let it be T. Okay. So from this is the line that joining the charge particle to the point where we need to find out the electric field intensity. We have the expression E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into AR, where R is the distance between these 2 points and AR is the unit vector along the direction of R. But it is a continuous charge configuration. But given that it was a continuous charge configuration, okay, then for a continuous charge configuration, we know its charge density. We know its charge density. The volume charge density is equal to rho v. Therefore, Q is equal to integral over the volume rho v dv. So if you substitute this Q value in the above equation, the electric field intensity E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So it is a constant. Integral over the volume rho v dv by r square into AR is the electric field intensity that arises due to a continuous volume charge distribution. Suppose if it is a line charge, here you take this as a line charge. Okay, so this is a line charge over which I had a point somewhere where I am required to find out the electric field intensity, and this is the differential surface element ds. At this point, I need to find out electric field intensity. There is no change in the expression. If the total amount of charge that is present over the sheet is Q and rho s is its volume, surface charge density, then E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into AR. But according to the definition, this Q is equal to integral over the surface rho s ds. So that you can replace this Q with this value. That implies E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common. This comes out integral over the surface rho s ds divided by r square to AR, where AR is the directional vector. Suppose there exists a line charge like this, and you are asked to find out electric field intensity, say at this point. Then you can draw a line R with it, over which Q coulombs per meter is the charge density. Then the electric field intensity E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into AR changes to, we know that Q is equal to integral over the length rho L dl. Rho L dl, where dl is the differential length at this point. So if you replace this Q with integral rho L dl, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral over the length rho L dl by R square into AR. This is what the electric field intensity that arises due to a line charge. So as a summary, let us summarize the electric field intensity expressions for different charge configurations. Electric field intensity, I am calling it as EFI, electric field intensity due to a volume charge equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral over the volume rho v dv by r square into AR due to a surface charge. Q is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught over S rho S ds by r square to AR. For a line charge, line charge 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral over the length L rho L dl by r square into AR. This is what the electric field intensity due to different charge configurations. Okay.